I'm here to review Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, what do I think about this movie? I think it was okay. I mean, I'm a huge Freddy fan, and I was expecting a lot going into this movie. And from the trailers, the movie looked awesome. It looked like it was going to be like the next best horror movie. But I gotta say that I was kind of disappointed because I thought that the new Freddy was going to look better, but I didn't like his look. It looked really nasty, and I know Freddy's not supposed to be like good looking or anything, but still, they could have done better with his makeup. Now, what do I think about Jackie Earle Haley, the guy that played Freddy? Do I think he's better than Robert Englund? Not even close. Robert Englund is the best Freddy all time. Nobody can play Freddy better than Robert Englund, but I will give Jackie Earle Haley a little credit because he has going on top of a very hard role. He had to go against Robert Englund, which is like impossible to do, which is impossible to beat, So I gotta give him credit for trying to take on a role that is very hard to do better than. But what I gotta say is, Jackie Earle Haley's voice was pretty cool, but I just didn't like the makeup they did for him. Like, he looked really just, oh my god, I couldn't look at him. Just disgusting as hell. Now, am I saying this movie sucks? No. I'm a huge Freddy fan. I love the old Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, that is a 10. I've told you this before in the Crazies review. Nightmare on Elm Street, the original 1984 version, was a 10 out of 10 for me because it was scary, had a good story, and Robert Englund just plays an awesome Freddy. And this Freddy was kind of serious, and he had a couple of good lines, but that's about it. He had a couple of good one-liners. That's it. That was all this Freddy was, pretty much. And he had a cool voice. I gotta give him on the voice. It was like this dark voice, which I liked a lot. But I still like Robert Englund better because he looked better and he can act the role better. Like, he was funny too, He had a lot of personality. And I felt this one didn't have as much personality, but just like a really cool voice. That's it. Now it's time to rate this movie. What do I think? I'm a huge Freddy fan. So for me to give this movie a low rating must be hard, right? Well, not exactly. Now, I'm not going to give it the worst rating. I'm going to probably give it a 7 out of 10 because I still thought it was decent. I thought it had a good story, a good enough acting, except for some people. There was just some girls that was just hot and couldn't act at all, but the acting was decent. I mean, Jackie Earle Haley was alright. The girls were okay. I thought Nancy was pretty good, and one of the guys was good, but that's it. Everybody else was pretty bad in this movie, and I think the acting could have been better too, but the story was nice. I like how the story was with, Freddy. You don't know if he's innocent or not, and if he was guilty of actually molesting kids. That part was pretty cool, and I liked that because it was a little twist, and you have to wait till the end to kind of figure it out. And I'm not gonna say if he is or not because that's a spoiler, and I don't want to spoil this movie. I just want to tell you about it. Some people say you shouldn't compare this because it's not exactly the same, but still, it is trying to be a remake. So I'm a huge fan of the 1984, and the people who say that this movie is better than 1984 must be on crack. 1984's Nightmare on Elm Street was one of the best horror movies, if not the best horror movie that I have ever seen. So I hate when people say that this movie is better than 1984 because I just don't see what's better about it. I saw the movie and I thought it was okay, but that was about it. It doesn't compare to 1984. Robert Englund versus Jackie Earle Haley. Well, Robert Englund beats Jackie Earle Haley. Jackie Earle Haley is alright as Freddy. He has a cool voice. But the makeup, they kind of messed it up on that. And the one-liners were kind of whack, They were just, some of them were funny. And, a lot of people thought that this movie was funny than scary. And I agree with that. I think it was actually funnier than actually being scary. I gotta give the movie credit on one level, though. The ending. I think the ending was great. It was really good. I love the ending. And if you see the movie, you'll know what I mean. The ending is amazing, so when you get to the ending, you will love it. Trust me. No, I'm not giving this movie a bad rating because, it's a remake, and remakes are not usually good. And I like remakes, actually, sometimes. Like, Nightmare on Elm Street, I really wanted a remake because I never seen a Nightmare on Elm Street in a movie theater before, so I was really looking forward to it. Maybe I was looking forward to it way too much. That's why it wasn't that great for me. But I was looking forward for this movie since 2008 or 7 when I heard that they were remaking it. So I was looking forward to it. Plus, I always thought they would remake it because, 1984 was very good. So imagine that. I am waiting for this movie to be remade for a very long time, and then, this is what we get. I expected something a lot better. So I guess that's why I was disappointed. But if you weren't like me, all hyped up, this movie was really hyped up. And if you didn't go into this movie that much hype, you probably enjoyed it a lot. But me, I was kind of disappointed with all the hype that I had for it. It let me down. Do I recommend people to watch this? Well, if they like the old Nightmare on Elm Street and they don't want to see a remake because they think it'll mess it up, then don't watch this movie. But I think most people should watch this movie. Come back here, comment, and tell me what they think. Do they think the 1984 is better? Do they think 2010, the remake, is better? I really want to know. I'm really interested in what you guys think. But to me, 2010 does not compare to 1984, but it is an okay movie on its own. A 7 out of 10, like I said.